Yeah. All right. Let's move on over to. Oh, hold on. Before we move over, JD and I saw a movie this weekend
And we held hands when we did it.
while we fucked.
Yeah, we saw Joker, the yoked up Joker.
He was pretty
uh,
skinny.
with oh yeah, hell yeah, he was. It wasn't like the machinist skinny, but it was plenty skinny. It
Yeah.
was a, it was
And did a lot of like showing off the skinniness.
yeah,
I
he
didn't
had to
like.
do
I
that.
get kind of
He had
queasy
to
with
do the
that.
dance and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Did you like it?
I did.
I liked it too.
Really?
Yeah,
Both of you agree on a movie?
it happens.
I haven't.
I'm
seen
sure
it.
we have a couple of movies. I bet you I could get Spencer to like Smoking Aces.
That movie's all right.
That's one of my favorite movies.
That's one of your favorite movies?
Yeah, I just like I like movies that have a lot of star power in it, but it's done right.
Spencer just changed his tone from
I
"It's
know,
all
right?
right" to "I fucking hate it."
Yeah, right. It sucks.
No, it's all right. It's an okay movie.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds is one of my favorite actors too. Not for like waiting or any of that stuff. I just like him in that role. He does a good job. But then Alicia Keys is in there, and Common's in there. Yo, Black Power, you know what I'm saying? But anyway,
I prefer rare legendaries or epics.
yeah, there you go.
I don't need commons.
I don't need comments.
Joker. What it's about, obviously it's a origin story for the Joker.
It's a take on the origin.
It's take it right because you never know quite what's going on with that Joker.
Until they get a really good origin story, and that's going to be the definitive. They're going to take back what they said. Who knows? And it might even be this one, dude. To be
Could
honest.
be. It was a good movie.
Could be. I would say probably the greatest thing I liked about it was the cinematography. I just love how it's shot in the sense like there's a really cool scene. I mentioned to Spencer because we like a bunch of film snobs. We eat afterwards and then we just like talk about your families. But there's a scene right at the right when he's finally embracing the Joker sort of persona. Well, I wouldn't even say persona. He's like, this is me. He says that like a lot, so you're just like, oh, okay, so it's not even like him just faking somebody. This is like, I'm finally, how like, I don't know about you guys, I'm always tense all the time. There's always a part of my body that's tense. So it's hard for me, thank you. It's hard for me to sleep. I got goosebumps. And no one touches me like that.
Go!
I just came. So, like I'm always tense, but the minute I can relax, I'm just like, man, life is awesome. Or like I'm chill or whatever. I think that is the same thing for his case, but he's leaving the subway after like this event happens. And while he's walking away, he's smoking a cigarette because he smokes a lot. He's chronic. And he's smoking a cigarette, but he's got his mask on. And I think it's his left eye because he has ink or blue paint right underneath it, is dripped down. So obviously he was crying or at least shed a tear. So maybe he was
sweating.
or he was laughing so hard they cried. And then all these police to his left and his right are running towards where he came from, and he's just walking. I was like, man, Joker got swag. I was like, that's what's up. And it was just a really nice shot scene. And then there's also the staircase. It's like in every film, right, where there's a struggle. They always have to have this really large staircase, and you have to climb it. At the end of the day, they've worked a long, hard day kind of shit. It's a lot of crane drama, so I see it a lot. But yeah, it's like the same.
And then the Rocky music plays, and they get to the top. And
you say that.
That was the most awkward.
Tell him, sense.
Well, he does the dance, but like towards the bottom of the staircase.
Yeah, like middle bottom kind of thing. He's watched by two cops that are like, get him!
Get that dancing man.
But it's funny. I read a bunch of different articles where people talk about like it's glorifying mental illness and all that stuff. And one of the funniest things is they're like, you're not supposed to feel good that he killed those people. I'm like, in all honesty, he kills. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6. He kills 6 people. Total. Right? There's one very clear one at the end. 3 right at when he's starting to whatever. 1 major one, and then 1 out of nowhere. Right? So 6 total. And one of the guys, after he kills this person, that's when he does like the dance thing because he puts on his makeup and then he goes out and he's just like dancing or whatever. And it played like, what did it play? What was the song they played? Spencer, you were like bobbing to it.
I bop to all music. I'm a music lover.
Get out of here.
I'm a music fan.
I put on BTS so many times for you. Anyway, no, they put on like some feel good like song or whatever, and I was just like, oh, the tone for that entire film was off for me. Not in the sense that it was like bad. It's just I don't think I was congruent to it. You know, like there's hardly any humor in that film. Like there's a couple scenes like where he shoots a wall. The what's it called scene because he does stand up, or well, he does stand up, and there's a scene where one of the guys is finishing his act, and he actually had some good jokes on it. Like that's it. You never get any humor out of it, so it's weird in the sense that they played the music. I wouldn't be like, but it was just more like, this is what they wanted to do. I'm not gonna argue.
To anybody that would tell you you're not supposed to feel happy that these guys died, that's such a fucking bullshit thing to say. Like,
Yeah.
why are movie reviewers telling us how we're supposed to feel? What is that?
Well, you know, that's interesting because you can mask that stuff with The Dark Knight or Batman v Superman. Batman kills everyone in there, mind you, in the area where he like pops in and he starts like roughing up everybody. We saw it together. The scene where he like uses the box, he splits that dude's head open. He throws a grenade at somebody. And have you ever seen that film? Have you seen the film?
No, I've not seen it.
Honestly, we should watch the film, and you're gonna fucking hate yourself. Like, we should watch it. I'm dead serious.
You've touted it up so well. I think I really want to see that movie.
The only reason why I say it is because I'm surprised you haven't seen it. Because
Batman throws a grenade at somebody.
No, so yeah, pretty much, yeah. And then like the guy's like, I forgot how the scene is cut, but he's like, and then it cuts to the next scene, and there's just an explosion in the distance, and he's beating up other people, like he's fucking people up. But everyone's like, yeah, Batman, get in there.
Yeah.
So then with Joker, is it because even Heath Ledger, you want to see a pencil disappear? Ta-da! That guy's dead. And everyone's like, comedy, you know, like, what are you talking about? You know, all that shit.
Okay, so so they say, you know, it's glorifying mental illness. What if it is? Who gives a fuck?
Maybe it's a feel good for people who have mental illnesses.
Yeah. Maybe it works for them.
I could be myself. Yeah.
I don't care.
I mean, I'm not going to go around murdering people, but maybe I do suffer from slight bouts of depression, you know, like that kind of thing. Yeah. Like, who cares?
Those are the same people that should be saying, and obviously they're not, but that Grand Theft Auto glorifies killing hookers. Sure.
Can't tell you a hooker I've not.
Don't hurt my hooker.
Hey, Layer, get your hands off that hooker. Let her go out and hook. Let her go out and hook her ass off.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, it's kind of...
Who gives a fuck? I want to like what I like.
That's sensationalized like media at that point. They're just like, you know, and then fucking everything is just disturbing to them and shit.
Creating drama for drama's sake.
Joker is a prime example of how shit reviews have become, to the point that people that are trying to tell us what is good and what is bad are actually just trying to tell us what we should like.
Yeah, like on an ethical level.
Yeah, it's like an ethical thing instead of.
But what about the movie?
Hey, the movie was good. It's like, no, you should like this because, not you will like this because.
Yeah,
they're
blending
really
that too much. That's like when people talk about, they'll mention like Iron Man in Marvel, right? They'll talk about how it's like it's his road to redemption, blah blah blah, you know, all that stuff. But I've seen a lot of character breakdowns where they talk about stuff like this. And they merge that in like it's like ethically he's this great guy. No, he was an arms dealer. He was responsible for millions of deaths. Like, don't get that confused. He's still fucking like not the best person in that regard. He also thinks he's better than everyone else, still to this day. So not only is he a murderer by proxy, but he's still a fucking douchebag. but we just rally behind him because he does the right thing at the end.
Well, think about like the Dave
So,
Chappelle,
like-
the Dave Chappelle thing,
Yeah,
just destroyed by critics. They're like, "Fuck this guy."
I would argue you can't destroy Dave though.
Oh no, destroyed
By
as in
critics.
the review.
Like, they just hate
score.
You can fuck that couch.
Yeah, right.
The review score is
Nobody
destroyed.
says that.
The review score is destroyed
Yeah.
on a critical level. On a
Right.
like actual audience level, everyone loved it.
Yeah.
So what the fuck? The people that are
It's-
supposed to tell us what's good or not are totally wrong.
You know, this is something that I think we should talk about. Like, have its own sort of video.
I
Can we
agree.
talk about it?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: is we could do this for any fucking review for any game nowadays or any movie nowadays, and we can just break down a review that someone else did and talk about it, and really
Yeah.
just make sure, hey, are you staying on topic in this case? Because that's really what it is. You're exploring the medium. You're not exploring how it fucking, if it's ethical or not. People didn't say that shit about Saw. People didn't say that shit about Hostel. They said it was glorified violence, but they didn't say.
They said it was glorified
fucking
violence
sick.
and it was fucking great.
Well, yeah, pretty much. They're like, man, that twist. Barbed wire fence, right? Like, bitch. But tell me about Manhunt. How I shouldn't play it because it's just
Yeah. This glorifies. What the fuck? What is that shit?
fuck critics.
Joker was great. The only thing I didn't like, and I don't think you shared this, but the only thing that I didn't like was the.
Oh, don't say it. Don't say that. Because I think he's going to see it.
Well, I'm not going to spoil specific things. I'm just going to say it's ironic. The things I didn't like about the movie were that it tied into the fact that it was a comic book.
Yeah.
That I like.
It was aware of itself.
No,
No.
that movie does not feel like a comic book movie.
Yeah,
at all.
it in general it feels completely not like any comic book movie I've ever seen, which I loved. Almost like Logan times like 50. Like Logan almost felt like it belonged in its own space, not like a comic book thing. This more so than that. Joker is more than that. It's like not even an action movie. Like none of that crap. It's just a character study. And if I had my druthers, I would say I wish it was all that. There is a little bit of Batman in this movie. And I'm not saying Batman the character or whatever. I'm just saying there is a little bit of the comic book in the movie.
The universe, yeah.
Yeah, and I could have done without most of it. I get why it's there, but I could have done without it.
I will also say that I think the thing I didn't like is I'm okay with movies that are slow burns if there's a point to it. Like when I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I couldn't fucking stand the first half of that movie. Just because there was no point. Everything that was just happening was just for fucking whatever. This sort of felt partially like it until there's a plot point that happens and then you just have to pay attention. And then shit's going to start to click with you and you're going to be like, all right, well, that connects to that. That means that. That means that. Right? The director respects you enough for you to pay to get some of the elements. So that's good. So,
I'm totally okay with the slow burn. I wish more movies would do that.
but if it's a slow burn, it's really a slow burn until
I don't think so.
it's the start. Yeah, I would. Up until it gets to.
I mean, it's when you say slow burn, are you using that as a negative or are you just saying that it's slow?
No. I'm saying contour your taste.
Okay, I'm with you.
But
Then.
I
I'm
will
with you.
say, if it's a slow burn, but it has a point, that's good. Slow burn with no point is, in my opinion, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, as opposed to a slow burn that has a point. Referencing another Tarantino would be Inglourious Bastards. The shit made sense. You're building up these characters. You're building up the universe. It's okay. So that's fine.
Oh, can we talk? Zazie Beetz is one attractive girl.
Dude, she's fucking hot. She was in Deadpool.
Yeah.
She's Domino in Deadpool too.
Mm.
Yeah, I
Ah.
follow her Instagram.
Ah!
What?
Slowly burning.
Oh my god. Dude, I was like, did something bite you? Oh shit, should I get up? Never again will I care about you.
They should
yes.
make a movie with her in it as.
She's been in a couple films, man.
No, I'm just saying like a movie with her as the star. Then I don't know. She's trapped in my basement or something. I don't know. All right. So we go with
consensual.
You give Joker your glowing review?
Yeah.
I give it a thumb up.